这是宜家在英国的唯一一个电动汽车充电点，却是整个伦敦最繁忙的一处。电动车车主们能边购物边给他们的车充电。
At the moment, the vehicle charging point that we've put in to pilot has been in a few months, really. So we're still assessing that. Is it the right technology? How does it work? What do the customers think of it? And then the next phase will be to sit down with the individual stores and say, right, is it appropriate? How many vehicles do you have in the area? It can't be just an eco-propaganda thing of putting it in. We want to put it in and it's going to work and people are going to use it. Infrastructure is vital in this project because if they introduced the internal combustion engine today into the UK, but then didn't build any petrol stations, nobody would go anywhere. And so we have to have that infrastructure of charging points before the electric vehicles will become a kind of a really valid and properly used mode of transport.
So you've got lots of sort of chicken and egg questions there. People won't buy a car until there's a charging point, but there won't be charging points until there's sufficient demand for charging points. And so you need somebody to take some leadership, and government does need to do that. And I think putting in charging points just to make them available for people would be a sign of confidence from the government, to give people the confidence to switch.
布朗尼先生还提到，充值的付款方式是目前电动车发展的另一限制因素。
At the moment it's free. We don't charge for it if people come in and if they use their own charging facilities. But there isn't a tie-up yet where you can go necessarily to different charging zones and use the same card. So I think there's still some work to be done centrally, and I think government are working on that, and the various authorities are working on it to try and harmonise.
虽然大多数人相信电动汽车将来会成为重要的交通工具，贝里女士却提出，在目前的情况下，将精力过度集中在发展电动车个人消费市场，不一定是最好的解决方案。
We'd like to see electric cars used not with the sort of ownership model that everybody worries about. So everybody says, what will make people buy an electric car? You know, what will it take for me to own one? And people go over and over on this issue of range and whether or not it will cover someone's every journey. So can they, they can do their daily commute on it, but what happens when they have to drive 250 miles and the range is only 100 miles? They ought to be doing other things like working with car club companies, working with taxi companies, a lot of things like deliveries, a lot of sort of commercial use of vehicles, because they're commercial, because they have a bottom line, because petrol is so expensive, because electricity is cheaper. Those industries like delivery companies and taxis could respond really well to a government subsidy where consumers and individuals are being very slow.